Viewers, hello, welcome back then to a new series on the channel with my friend, WorkTheSpace. Hi, WorkTheSpace.
Hello, WorkTheSpace.
Do you want to quickly do a bit for your channel?
Hello, channel.
Excellent. So, we've decided to do a network game with one another. I'm going to be Alex Ferguson's sort of. They're a prolific side, weren't they, in the sort of late 90s,
good.
early 2000s, on an updated database, or a new database, a 2003-2004 database. Jack, who made the database?
The mad scientist, the man himself, yes. He is actually mad, allegedly.
Yeah. The links to that are in the description down below. It means that you can play with a 0304 database on the game this year. Jack, who have you chosen to be?
Well, there was only one option. I've gone with Manchester City. No, Arsenal, the Invincibles. The Invincibles. I looked at Omri and I went, I fancy a piece of Omri. So
yeah. So it's going to be Ferguson's Manchester United versus Wenger's Invincibles, and we're going to do an entire season and see who comes out on top. If you enjoy this series, Jack, I think we've agreed we'll do a little bit more as well. So we'll see if people enjoy
if people enjoy the network game stuff, like we're refining the format a little bit, so we are kind of receptive to feedback to begin with. But hopefully people enjoy it. Obviously, it's not the first rodeo of us playing network games together. And
we've done it many times before.
We have. So I'm hoping that I can come out on top again. But
amazing! Again, just throw something there. Have you got on in the FM Cup that Football Manager put on? Have you been doing in the Creators Cup?
Draft mode's not my thing. It's not real Football Manager.
Amazing. Whereas the 2003-04 database, he's primed for viewers. Right then, we best get into it then and talk you through our teams, and then we'll reconvene with Jack, and I'll reconvene with Jack on his channel before our first game of the season.
So folks, welcome to Arsenal Football Club here in 2003. In the background you can just see the first literally 5 minutes of me being at the club, setting a few things up here and there. I had already formulated a tactic in my mind and kind of roughly planned it out. I want to try and recreate the Invincibles 4-4-2 with inverted wingers. It's a role I've never really used in FM, and two striker systems I'm guilty of avoiding like the plague. So we're going to try something different here at Arsenal. I want to try and recreate their 4-4-2 of the time. We might have to tweak things just to suit the match engine a little bit to get the most out of the team, but our players are very, very good, and I'm hoping that we can do good things here. The media prediction for this season is second behind Ben's team, but realistically, I want to finish ahead of Ben. I want to try and go unbeaten for the year, but let's be realistic. It's pretty unlikely. Obviously, I'm going to do my absolute best to do it, but my main aim is to win the league, but most importantly, finish above Ben. If Ben finishes third and I finish second, I don't care. That's good enough as far as I'm concerned. In terms of the transfer market, my thinking's right now at the start of pre-season, I would like to sign just strength in depth, really. I don't want to disrupt too much, I don't think, about the Invincibles kind of starting 11. I'm sure there'll be one or two players who maybe, are good enough for the first team and will be in contention. But I would like to stick it out with a fairly familiar squad. Really just a fair bit of strength in depth, particularly defensively, is needed. It is worth just reiterating, we are obviously on a 2003-04 database on FM19. As a result, the AI and the game itself uses modern footballing transfer logic for, fees. I will ask you now to hold your suspension of disbelief, if you may, and also feel free to comment on my transfer business. I tried to bring in players that you will be familiar with, that are household names of modern football. You'll hopefully see some of those in the future. I've got a few that I've got my eye on already. Anyway, guys, I am going to go forward to the end of pre-season. Future Jack's going to take things away. Let me know in the comments who you think is going to finish, highest in the league out of myself and Ben. If you are enjoying the video at the moment, leave a like. And, Future Jack, take it away. Okay, guys, so here we are at the end of pre-season with Arsenal. And I've been a little bit busy in the transfer market. We've made some signings, and now it's time to just bring you up to speed with our squad. So I think it starts kind of making sense, really, if we talk about the tactics first, because this year I want to try and recreate the Invincibles 4-4-2. I want to try and do it. You might notice a few players like Carlos Tevez, who is our key player who we signed. Of course, in terms of the core components of this team, Henry up front is absolutely incredible. Look how good he is. I feel like him and Vieira are really the cornerstones of this team, but there is a very, very strong supporting cast. At centre-backs, we've got Sol Campbell, and we also have Martin Keown alongside him, two extremely talented centre-backs. In the full-back areas, of course, we've got Ashley Cole and Lauren, but Well, one area of concern in pre-season, and really when I first came to the club, was just a lack of strength at the back in depth. If we had an injury to any of these players, kind of the only go-to player we had was Kolo Touré, who is reasonably good at 22. But, depending on how we get on with injuries and such, there was realistically a situation where we could be very hamstrung at the back. So our transfers at the back revolved largely around bolstering the defence. In the midfield, I'm pretty happy with the centre midfield options. We've got obviously Vieira, Gilberto Silva as well in this Invincible side. I want to try and mimic how, Arsenal played around the 2003-04 season, really try and get an Invincibles tactic working. I don't think we're going to go Invincible this year, but hey, we've got to try. In terms of our defence, we've got Primera, who we brought in, who's going to be a good little backup player, and also John O'Brien. I will actually quickly go through our transfers here, although I went through them in depth with Ben, where he has criticised each and every one of them. Just in terms of departures, I let Wiltord go. We have signed Carlos Tevez, as you guys saw. We've also signed Zlatan Ibrahimovic. So with an injury-prone Wiltord, with 1 year left on his contract, it made sense to sell him. £12 million recouped there. Pascal Segan, you can see we've sold to PSG for £3.5 million. He was another player who was in the last year of his contract. I don't mind him as a centre-back, and as I mentioned, we were kind of lacking a little bit of strength in depth, but last year of his contract, better younger options brought in, was a very late departure relative to our signings that you can see we made, and we got a little bit of money for him. In terms of the transfers in, Zlatan Ibrahimovic comes in as a successor to Bergkamp, who will obviously be another option who is interchangeable with Carlos Tevez. I feel like in the striking department, we've got plenty of options. I talked about the fact we're going to play with inverted wingers. One concern I had was that behind Pires and Ljungberg, we were a little bit lacking. So these next two players, to solve that problem, hopefully. Thomas Roll here can play out on the left-hand side of midfield. He is right-footed and superb in the air, which I really do like. Good passer of the ball as well. You can see very well suited to play as an inverted winger. Could potentially also slot in at the right-hand side, although he is only right-footed. JJ Okocha, not known as an inside winger or an inverted winger, but he's very well suited to the role. You can see here if we just look at his attributes. So despite the age of 29, the either-footed player is someone we're going to look to train at right mid. Obviously, he can also play as a backup player, very versatile, which is nice to have on the bench. We've talked about Tevez. He will definitely be in the first team this year, there or thereabouts, giving Ljungberg a run for his money. I really do like him a lot. The rest of the team, obviously, Primera, we've looked at. Julio Cesarev just brought in as a backup goalkeeper. John O'Brien, I needed a backup left-back to Ashley Cole. As I mentioned, we went through John O'Brien's story on Ben's channel during the transfer review that Ben did of my team. He has an interesting story. You can go find out more about him there. Diego, just a very, very good centre mid option. He obviously plays centre attacking mid, which we don't have in our current system. We may evolve the tactic as the year goes on if it isn't really working, but he can play as a striker, and we are going to train him to play centre mid, so he'll just be a very good young player for the future. And last but not least, we had a little bit of money left over at the end. Kolo Touré said, "Hey boss, sign my brother." That's what we did. We've got a 20-year-old Yaya Touré. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on. All in all, though, very happy with our transfer business. I'm sure I'll go through the tactic in a bit more detail next time out. For the most part, though, I want to stick with the players that we've got. The real kind of area of concern was the defence, because we were just lacking strength in depth. To give you an idea, Gael Clichy was kind of considered one of our backup defenders. He was our second choice left back. This is how good he is in game. So naturally, I needed a backup. And, I feel like we've got a pretty good one in, John O'Brien now. Anyway, that's enough about my transfers and my team. Let's go and take a look at Ben's transfer business, see how he can justify the money that he's been throwing around. I do think it's just worth mentioning, obviously, someone's going to comment on this, the crazy kind of transfer money spent. One thing to remember with this throwback database is it is using the transfer logic and the transfer system of Football Manager 2019. As a result, stuff like transfer fees are always a little bit off because the game gets a bit confused. It's got all these FM kind of 10 years ago now, or 15 years ago even, kind of values, but the transfer AI, the whole transfer system is based around modern football, so there's naturally some conflicts there. But I'm pretty happy with our business. I know Ben has spent a similarly large amount of money. Let's go find out exactly what he has been up to. So Ben, I'm looking at your transfers here. There's one that stands out. Do you want to talk me through them all? And probably
sure.
The one at the top.
Yeah, well, do you mean Malky Bakai? Or...
That's exactly who I was looking at.
I mean, he's a great transfer from Norwich. I mean, click him, show your viewers Malky Mackay. They'll be judging that immediately. Now, I'm going to admit to you now, viewers, he's not got the best acceleration and pace you've ever seen. He's not the quickest lad. But I'll tell you what, in terms of technical defensive attributes, there's no one better.
I mean, didn't he get fired as a manager for saying some rather controversial
Ronaldo.
things?
Let's look at Ronaldo. Ronaldo's a good player. The majority of the budget has gone on Ronaldo. Obviously, I've had to fund it a little bit. Phil Neville's left us, sadly. Roy Carroll has gone off to Wolves. A few loans out as well. Diego Forlan can't finish. For those that are thinking, why is he let go of Diego Forlan? Diego Forlan has like 8 finishing, which not good enough for 24 years of age. I mean, pick on. Who do you want to pick on? They're all good.
I'm looking at Ronaldo and I'm looking at 5 natural fitness.
2 World Cup winners' medals. Next.
Okay, I mean, who else have we got? Lima and Juan. I mean, they sound Brazilian, but I've not heard of either of them. Who's the one who you'd say keep an eye out for?
There's loads of Brazilians. I think, Lima is underrated. 3.3 million he cost me. He's got a ridiculous amount of 20s. He's on the 0304 database,
I can see 8.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
So if anything happens to Roy Keane, don't you panic, because we've got a replacement ready-made there in Lima. He knows his place. He's a backup for me. Very good.
10 natural fitness.
Don't worry about that. There's 2 players I think we should focus on though of my transfers. Adilson from Flamengo.
He's very good, to be fair.
31 years of age, is still very, very fast. He's quite a short lad, but that's not a problem for us. Great work rate, technicals you can see to die for. Excellent player, elite striker, rightly so. And Hassan as well from Bayern Munich.
I like the fact you've skirted around the last name there.
I've given him the nickname Hassan. He can play wing back, he can play right midfield, and we didn't really have someone who was really good out there. We had Kleberson or Ronaldo, who's not natural there. So
is it not Hassan Salihamidzic?
I'll use that for all my videos.
Feel free to dub that over. That's probably wrong, but it sounded like I might know what I'm talking about.
That's why I've gone with Hassan, the Bosnian. So yeah, I think I've made some good transfers. And I think you're looking at them now, and you were going to come here and you're going to mock them, but there's very little to mock.
That's fair. I mean, you spent £106 million. You've also made some sales. I mean, Phil Neville. Why have you sold him?
17 million.
Okay, I've clicked on his profile and now I understand. Yeah, fair enough. No more questions, Your Honour.
He's not bad, is he? He's not bad, but he's not Manchester United quality. He never was.
He's not Gary, is he? Is what you're kind of saying.
Yeah, I'm saying that. Gary Neville's very good, by the way. I wouldn't look up my actual backline because that is terrifying. But all in all, I'm pretty happy. Yeah, we've spent loads of money, but I do have a front 2 now of Ronaldo and Van Nistelrooy. So, every cloud.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I'll give you it. It's pretty good.
I've got to take down the Invincibles, mate. It's not easy.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, I'm looking forward to showing you through my team, which of course people can see on your channel. And I'm hoping that you're going to do some talking on the pitch, because I feel like your transfers paint a picture of ambition and victory. And I feel like you're going to bottle it.
Oh.
Okay, folks, so here we are. First game of the season. We're taking on Liverpool at home at Highbury. Probably could have had an easier first game, truth be told. Our team is pretty reminiscent of the Invincibles team. The only difference being we're going to try Carlos Tevez as our key player. They, on the other hand, have Michael Owen, who looks pretty good as a striker, it would be fair to say, for this Liverpool side. He is without a doubt their best player. They've also got Steven Gerrard, who looks pretty spicy. This is not going to be a freebie. Obviously, Ljungberg and Pires, we're expecting them to have big games really for us. They look pretty good. I'll be honest, it's a little bit unnerving, isn't it, seeing all the older kind of faces of all the players, but I feel like we can give them a good game here. So let's get into this. We are playing my Invincibles system. I realise that we don't have an assistant manager, I don't think. I might want to address that. Or have I already set my staff to do the team instructions? I'm not sure. I must admit, with this network game, I'm not treating it to the same degree of seriousness as Leon Live. You know, it's been kind of just fun to chill, play some FM. I feel like network games are severely underrated as kind of just something to play. As much as I want to play it off like, oh, it's all just a bit of fun, the reality is I do really want to beat Ben. And well, Harry Kewell is quite good in this FM, and I'm a little bit nervous about the fact we've let him just drift inside like that. Thierry Henry, free kick just wide of the post. 3 minutes gone. Not looking too shabby. I feel like we've done okay there. Hopefully we can keep this going. Mark Viduka scored for Leeds. I mean, it brings a tear to my eye. Raise your Vidukas in the chat. If you know that reference, you've been here a while. Thank you for continuing to watch. Right, Freddie, what can you do? Hit someone in a wheelchair in the front row is the answer. It's not the best effort on goal, I'll be honest. And now Pires has got injured. I mean, suddenly, it's looking like it's a good job that we signed both JJ Okocha and Roll. JJ, I mean, I was hoping that you'd learn to play right midfielder a little bit more before we came calling. But it is your moment. I'm really hoping that's not a serious injury for Perez, because JJ Okocha and Roll, who we've brought in, they're good inverted wingers. But they're not on the same level as everyone else. And, well, JJ Okocha's just scored. I need to shut up. Why do I not believe in him? I need to start believing. Henry with the cross in from the left-hand side. It's a first goal of the season. Ashley Cole to Henry, trademark position, cuts in from the left-hand side. And JJ's there, cool, calm, collected on the volley. Take a bow, my son. That's what we want to see. And we're starting this game pretty good. Not dominating the ball, but we don't necessarily have to do that in these games. As I mentioned, next episode we'll talk more about the tactic in detail, because I do want to try and replicate somewhat kind of Arsenal's system back in the day to see how it could do in a modern football manager. As Owen breaks through Lehmann, lovely stop. I feel like to play, with the inverted wingers, it's just something that you don't really get an opportunity to do much in FM. So it's kind of fun when we have a team ready-made to at least give it a go, to try it out. And try it out we absolutely shall. As Tevez brings it forward to Henry on the counter. Thierry Henry, I would have put my house on him to score it. Game's unrealistic. He would have buried that every day of the week. Unfortunately for us, the side netting denies us. For people wondering, by the way, with the network game, obviously, we are going to be experimenting with the format, but for most episodes, it's going to be your kind of standard Football Manager recap thing where we talk about the previous month's worth of actions, and then Ben and I will record our games separately. The thing that's going to obviously make it network gamey is at the start of every episode, we'll talk on one person's video, and then on Ben's channel or my channel, we'll then talk at the end of the episode about the most recent game and kind of the fixtures coming up. And both people's videos will go up at the same time. So you'll get two separate games, two separate perspectives. And well, I can guarantee you, if you stick around here, Henry is going to continue to score for fun. He taps his head whilst patting his belly. Lundberg with an assist out on that left-hand side. I mean, hopefully this is a sign of things to come. We're looking pretty good here. I mean, all we're lacking now is, well, Carlos Tevez to get in a goal. That would be nice, wouldn't it? I am wondering if, the likes of Bergkamp, Ibrahimovic, obviously we've got Edu and Ray Parler. We've got options if we want to spice things up and bring on some more attackers. We are predicted to finish second in the league, behind Ben's Manchester United. Liverpool, on the other hand, predicted to finish fourth. So they're not going to be pushovers, but we've put in a very good performance so far. We've created so much more than them. We just need to make it show on the scoreline. JJ switches the play to Ashley Cole. What can he do? He puts in, Henry flicks it. It's 3-0. We are having a party here. I mean, Henry wheels away in celebration. He does a chicken dance. 3 clear-cut chances. 3 goals. We're in dreamland. We are in absolute dreamland here. It could not be going better. Cole with the ball in. Henry with that little flick on at the near post with a header. Jerzy Dudek. Absolutely no chance. Liverpool are all over the place. I completely agree with the commentator here. And now we're gone. You know what, Tevez, you're young. It's your debut. Let's bring in Dennis Bergkamp to play deep line forward. Bergkamp's polygon, by the way, is just a bit silly. Not many players like this in modern day Football Manager. Incredible mentals. Very good creatively. The fans love him. I love him. Let's see what he can do in the last half an hour here. It's been a long game so far, hasn't it? We've been a little bit slow with the play. I mean, our replays are at the normal speed. There's just been a lot of highlights this match. Perhaps we could up the in-game highlight just a smidge, just to try and help us get through this. I'm conscious of the fact that Ben is sat potentially in the waiting room after a boring short game, and we're here just having chance after chance. Loren to Bergkamp. Not the best first touch. Loren now with it. It's too fast, isn't it? I don't like it. We're going back. Lundberg's there. I mean, it's 4-0. We're in dreamland. I don't think it's offside. I don't see a linesman. So I'm going to assume he's not got his flag up. JJ Okocha with the assist, by the way. Ben mocked JJ Okocha. Ben made me feel like maybe I'd made a mistake when he ridiculed my transfers in his video. I mean, he shouldn't be ridiculing us anymore. It's a lovely goal again. It's our inverted wingers getting involved in the play. 15 minutes left. We want 5. You know what? Henry's lacking a little bit of match sharpness. Let's just play it safe. Let's give Zlatan a debut as well. Let's just bring in all our new signings and see what they can do. But, I mean, looking at it, Maybe I didn't need to sign any players. Maybe the strength in depth at the defence is all I needed. Goals do not look like they're going to be a problem. And besides JJ Okocha coming up a few times, it's been players already at the club who are making the difference. As Henry drifts inside, he's on the verge of coming off, so perhaps he's desperate to get that last goal for the hat-trick before we take him off. Ljungberg with it to Bergkamp, who tucks it away. I mean, I'm a fan of this 4-4-2 already. I can't wait to show you guys it in a little more detail. I've not used a 4-4-2 this year. In fact, I'm wondering if in FM this year I've even played a two-striker system with a flat four in midfield. I don't know if I have. Lots of unknowns here, but the unknown quantities, they seem to be working out for us. We will make that change. I'm sorry, Henry. I know you want your hat-trick, but Zlatan needs football. And given the money we paid for him, I feel like he has to play. 90th minute. I mean, let's not concede now. A clean sheet would be nice, wouldn't it, to cap up for episode 1. That's what we'd like to see. JJ Okocha to Vieira. It's music to my ears. Bergkamp playing that deep line forward role. Drifts in. Lauren whips it. Back post. Lundberg's there again. Rebound maybe. He can't get there. Finally, Dudek makes a save. We've had 4 clear-cut chances. We could have another. Ljungberg, have a go, my son. Tests Dudek once more. I mean, it's been a long game, this one. It's been chance after chance. It feels like we've just had Liverpool penned in. We've had a glimmer of hope from Michael Owen, but he's looked very isolated as their lone striker in this 4-4-1-1 that Liverpool are using. It feels like the midfield battle has been one that we've won, and the overlap has been very punishing for them as the ball goes straight out of play. I think that is going to be game, set and match here. And, I mean, what an opening performance. The Invincibles, I think we could go for clean sheets all season. 38 games without conceding, let's go. I mean, we're 1/38th of the way there. JJ Okocha again involved. I feel like this is just a very long highlight at the end of the game. Indeed it is. What a performance that is. I can't wait to rub it in Ben's face and let him know how happy I am with my team. And, well, with that in mind, let's go and see what he has to say.
So, Jack...
Hi.
It's gone well, hasn't it?
It's gone pretty good. It could have gone worse. It was a banana peel, I think, of a game against media predicted 4th place Liverpool.
You've won 5-0. I've had a pretty successful outing at Southampton, 2-0. How long's Pires out for?
3 to 4 weeks.
Lovely.
It's okay though. I can't. Well, you say this. JJ Okocha, a goal and an assist off the bench after Pires got injured, so I will get him on the pitch, Ben. Thank you very much. He did well out wide.
Were Liverpool just rubbish? Like what happened?
They were playing a 4-4-1-1, and we just pinned them in their own box. Ljungberg got a goal and 2 assists. Okocha got assists out wide. We just ripped them to shreds in the wings. To be honest, like inverted wingers seem pretty good in my system, which is good news because I've invested heavily in that. I mean, for you, Ronaldo scored, right? So that's something. Yeah,
he was moody throughout. I did tell the viewers that I promised him captain when he joined, and then Roy Keane wanted it, so I gave it to Roy Keane instead, and he's not happy about that at all. Worth noting, by the way, I didn't know this before I started, but Ruben Nistelrooy has 2 passing.
I mean,
it makes Yaya look brilliant.
I mean, I'll loan him to you if you want.
That's all right.
I did notice that Hassan got sent off. Any words on that?
Just second yellow, I think. Just late challenge. It happens, mate. Part and parcel of the game, sunshine.
It's fair.
But we sit 1st and 2nd in the league table.
Who's first though, Ben?
Long way to go, pal. Long way to go. See you soon.
It's true.
We're going to wrap things up there then, gang. I think the next time we come back, you playing Tottenham?
I am, yes. I'm looking forward to that. It's in about a month's time, so a few games in between.
And I'm at home to Leeds United, Manchester United versus Leeds in the Premier League. We've not seen it for quite some time, viewers. I'm excited, and I'll see you for it next time. If you enjoyed this video, of course, please leave a like on it. And Jack, anything you want to say?
Well, obviously, go and watch Ben's video if you're on my channel. Go watch my video if you're on Ben's channel. Obviously, with this, the format's going to change in a way from this episode onwards, where we have different, chats on each channel. So you're going to want to make sure to watch both perspectives to really kind of get a true feel for the network game, which I'm looking. I feel like this could go right down to the wire already, if I'm being honest. I feel like we have 2 very good teams, and our games are going to be significant.
It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the Champions League interacts with all this. We're not going to focus on too much of the group stuff.
Yeah.
It's very much the Invincibles. Arsenal didn't go invincible in that competition, Jack. So, pressure's off on that one. But we'll see. And that's going to bring us to the end then. Goodbye, Jack.
Thank you for watching, everyone. See you soon.
Goodbye, everyone. Good luck with care.
From me, Dr. Benjy. Good night.
5-0 them all, mate. really annoyed me. 5-0.
Pretty good.